Hello, everyone. I am Hana, evolutionary astrologer, and I want to talk to you about Venus, the planet of love and beauty and values, entering the sign of Virgo coming up on September 19th. So, we're all going to feel this shift from the energies of Leo. Venus has been in Leo, and Leo is flamboyant, it's dramatic. And this shift into Virgo, we're going to feel the energy getting quieter, humbler, and you're also going to feel yourself a lot more discerning. That's what Virgo is about, discernment. So write down those dates. September 19th until October 13th, Venus will be transiting the sign of Virgo. There's one specific date that I want to talk to you about, which is October 4th. That's the date that Venus, transiting Venus, meets the transiting south node of the moon. So that's quite significant. And um, I will tell you more about it in just a little bit. But from a general standpoint, what is Venus in Virgo about? First of all, Venus is about our love relationships, our values, and how we feel good, how we feel satisfied, how we feel good about our lives. In Virgo, this shifts into something that's going to be more practical, more grounded, more service oriented. So our focus shifts to refinement, discernment. How can I make things better? How can I polish things? What needs to be healed? What needs to be fixed? And we want to feel useful. We want to feel useful to others, supportive to others. And a lot of Virgo is about what is happening in our daily lives. And so Venus and Virgo energy, like core energy is about refinement, which means to begin with is about finding beauty in the simplicity of everyday life and the details of things that really that at a spiritual level, it's about that sacred devotion of everyday life. All the things that you do every single day that end up building your routine, that end up building your day, the building blocks of your day. And Virgo is the sign of the healer, the craftsperson, the one who sees patterns and the one who improves them. So when travels through Virgo, the way we show love, first of all, to ourselves and to others, it's about becoming an act of service. It's not really what dazzles the eye, but it's what feels functional, useful, clean, improving our lives or helping to improve other people's lives. And, it's like that, making someone a cup of tea or taking good care of our bodies or organizing our daily lives and our messy drawers in our closets. It can be all these acts of love that it can feel quite simple, but they're quite significant because they are really these building blocks of the things that make up our routine, our daily lives. So in relationships, when we talk about love and relationships, Venus and Virgo makes us more selective. So it's a lot about how does this relationship here serving growth? Is it healthy? Is my relationship healthy? Is it grounded? Is it mutually supportive? This is a time where we can notice flaws more sharply, including the flaws in ourselves, but it's also that opportunity to bring healing by addressing things with care. So it's a very practical energy, like what needs to be done here? How can we fix this? If there's something that's not working out, what can we do about it? Let's have a plan. Let's have a conversation. Let's figure things out. Let's find solutions. That's what Virgo is all about. And it can be again like all of these very mundane aspects of life. Like, for example, who's doing the dishes? Who's folding the laundry? A lot about figuring these things out, but ultimately it's about showing love through acts of service, through that devotion, through that care. And Also, how are things working in your everyday life, in the routine of your relationship? So it's not about Venus and Virgo is not about, when we go on vacation and everything is amazing and we are at the beach and having all these amazing experiences. Venus and Virgo is about how do we work together in the everyday, Monday through Friday and weekends, and when there's, work to be done and dishes to be washed and laundry to be folded. How is our relationship working? So collectively, this period really supports us aligning with healthier habits, self-care routines, um, devotion to our wellness, devotion to our body. And this could be the smallest rituals. It can be cooking a nourishing meal, cleaning up your room, cleaning up your space, helping someone to improve their lives or improve their space, or bringing some sort of helping them to organize their ideas, or if something is going wrong, helping them to find solutions for their problems. So all of these small everyday life themes and things, they become these sacred offerings under this Venus transit. So again, refinement, focus on the details of your life, do editing, do like be your own editor. What needs improvement? What needs healing? So refresh your daily routines. This is your diet. This is your skincare. This is your work habits. What needs to be improved? What needs to be polished? How am I even, what's my relationship with my body? What kind of food am I eating? Am I giving good nourishment to my body? You can, write little love notes to express affection in small ways and thoughtful acts. Think about these details that make, the day even more amazing, right? It's like the small acts of love and care and service that can really transform a person's day. And so beautify your life through simplicity, less clutter. And one suggestion is to offer your skills and service, help others is like Venus and Virgo's way of loving. It's how can I be of service to others? How can I help others and bring healing and bring improvement and bring skills? Now, speaking about money, because that's also another side of Venus and Virgo, right? We talked about relationships, we talked about health. Now let's talk about finances and the material side of Venus. There's a lot here about discernment, right? So when Venus is in Leo, we may feel this desire to celebrate life through buying things, through splurging, and sometimes even unnecessary, like flashy or unnecessary things that we don't really need, but it's that energy of like, I want to celebrate being alive and I want to celebrate my existence. That's the Venus and Leo experience. So there can be a little bit of excess, there can be a little bit of indulgence, through food as well. We can all eat more delicious food because it's just so exciting. We want to feel the delicious flavors. But when Venus gets into Virgo, we might feel drawn to simplify. So it's about budgeting, organizing our budget, seeing how much money am I spending? How much money is coming in? Am I wasting? So this could be the decluttering aspect of Virgo can also come through finances here. Anything that needs to be decluttered, repaired, maybe it's a time to create systems that will bring more harmony into our lives. And the way we spend money when Venus is in Virgo is all about quality instead of quantity. So look at your budget. You're going to probably feel yourself spending with more, being more careful, being more cautious, even more conservative. So Virgo brings that sense of managing things and regulating things, or maybe you're helping other people regulate their finances. Okay. So another thing that you might notice is, because Venus speaks about how we're spending our money, what kind of things are we spending money? So here it could be things that are very practical, tools, services, resources that can improve our lives, improve our routines, make life easier. Maybe it's something for your kitchen, right? It's the day-to-day um, focus. So this could be upgrading your planner. This could be buying kitchen tools. This could be buying things that can make, for example, cooking simpler. Or it can be investing in skincare, that truly works for your body. Or maybe even spending on classes or systems that can help you organize your schedule, your finances, wherever there's this sense of chaos. Venus in Virgo helps us bring things into order. So it's not really so much about luxury for luxury's sake. If you're going to buy luxurious items, it's more about the quality than the splurging or the showing off. But it's about what's going to make my life more efficient, what's going to make my health, what's going to improve my health. And you might feel that you're choosing to spend your money on things that really serve a very clear purpose and add long-lasting value to your life. Okay, so let's look at the shadow side now, because with every astrological configuration, there's always going to be challenges. There's always going to be a potential for the shadow to come through. And for Venus and Virgo is perfectionism. Okay, it's part of the Venus and Virgo mentality to analyze things. That's very much part of it. This is how we find out the things that need to be improved and healed and polished and refined. We need our critical minds. We need constructive criticism. But when it's too much, when it becomes over analyzing, when you start to over analyze things, we can criticize ourselves and others all the time to the point that it can be even chronic. So you're never satisfied. It's like the soup is always the wrong temperature. It's never the right temperature. There's always something that's going to be out of place, that's going to be bothering you. So be careful with that. Know your limits. Yes, it's important to bring critical thinking and analytical thought, but also be mindful of when it's too much. And in love, be careful not to be in situations, either you or your partner, where you might be even like holding back affection until things feel perfect or when things feel just right, right? But, or over analyzing your partner, wanting them to be that specific way to the point where they're always falling short. And that's really, becoming an issue. So true Virgo wisdom is not about finding fault. It's about cultivating growth. So instead of asking what is wrong, I think the answer, the question here, the powerful question here is to ask, how can I make this better? How can I nurture this? How can I heal? How can I elevate either myself, my body, my routine, my work, my relationship, my friendships, etc., and so forth. So this is a powerful time to work on ourselves, to work on our relationships, to work on our work. Virgo is work and employment. This is a time to work on your skills, your craft, upgrade your skills, bring more discipline. When Venus is in Leo, we all feel like life is a party. So we want to go out and play. When Venus is in Virgo, we get more disciplined and we're going to bring more structure to our professional life and our goals. So pay attention to the details, polish what you're creating, and don't underestimate all the small improvements that you can make that can, when you accumulate them, when you bring them all together, can really bring greater results. So, yeah, so and one thing that I want to mention that I think it's really important is the date October 4th. This is the day when this transiting Venus in Virgo meets the south node of the moon. So this is an important karmic moment. The south node always represents the past, where we're coming from, old patterns, old habits, attachments, and people from the past as well. So in Virgo, these themes can come to the surface, things that you might be revisiting. You might be revisiting old relationship dynamics where maybe some of these themes and ways of doing things can come to surface. So pay attention not to be playing the fixer role all the time, over analyzing things, or actually the opposite, where someone else is trying to fix you and overanalyze you. So pay attention to these roles and how you can bring them into balance. So pay attention to your patterns, your relationships. There can be important relationship activations here, especially if you have planets around the 18th degree of Virgo. And think about this moment, not just as October 4th, one day, but think about that whole week, how this energy is, active. And so pay attention to your values. If there's perfectionism, if there is over analytical tendencies, maybe it's a time to release those things. And this need for things to be flawless. So pay attention to the healing opportunities that also show up and look at, what in your relationships, your finances, and your daily life, and your work, and your health, because those are Venus and Virgo themes. See if there's anything that no longer serves your growth and you're ready to step into a different place. So for this time, while Venus is transiting Virgo, express love through service, through care, through small acts. Find beauty in the simplicity of life. Pay attention to the details of things, celebrate the details of things, and heal if there is criticism, even self-worth, like being highly critical of ourselves and thinking that we need more work and more work and more work. Remember that you can be, and you are a masterpiece and a work in progress at the same time. So let yourself be both and simplify your life. Simplify to what's essential, what needs to be done, and how you can bring, how you can bring productivity and healing and improvement to your life. Okay? So Venus in Virgo ultimately teaches us that love is not always loud, it's not always dramatic, but it's in that devotion, in the quiet details, and how we show up, and in the care that we give, and all the intentions that we bring to every small act. So happy Venus in Virgo, make the best out of it. If you like this video, don't forget to like it. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do. Let me know what kind of topics you're interested in hearing about. And I hope I'll see you next time.